Welcome back to America's Retirement Headquarters, home of the Retirement Guys Formula and America's Medicare Associates with Nolan Baker and Dave Ross. 419-794-3030 is the phone number. arhq.com. That is the website, how you reach out to the guys, find out more about the team at America's Retirement Headquarters. When checking into a hotel, you probably already know to avoid the minibar. That is because the prices of the drinks inside, well, quite frankly, they're astronomical. Here's another reason to steer clear. This young woman found out that just putting her personal water bottle in the fridge can result in an additional charge, so she called the front desk.
Hi, I see on the fridge it says that there's an additional $50 charge for adding items to the fridge.
If you put any personal items, they're gonna charge you because it's a minibar only.
So, I can't put my water bottles inside the fridge?
No.
Oh, okay. And can we change the temperature of the room?
Yes, is it not working?
No, it's fine. We were just wondering if there was a charge. Thank you.
Now, the problem with fees in a 401k or retirement portfolio is much like in this situation. You don't know about them until it is too late. Can you help head this off with a little bit of preemptiveness with a simple look?
Absolutely can, Chris. The thing about fees is that if you're working with a fiduciary, which we are here at the Retirement Guys Formula and America's Retirement Headquarters, we have to fully disclose fees when you set up an account, and we have to disclose the fee and you sign off on it. So does that mean that the client is going to remember how much they're paying you? Not necessarily, but it's a discussion that can be held at any review meeting. A fiduciary has to disclose fees. If you bring account statements and 401k statements, we can determine what the fees are within that plan and what you're paying for it. And depending on the type of employer that you work for, there are some plans out there where everyone bears their proportionate share of fees. There are other plans where the company pays 100% of the fees. And then there's some where it's a little bit of both. So if you want to get a handle on that, that's a good reason why you should come and visit with us, because we can figure that all out. Because I will tell you, it is not easy to look at a brokerage statement or a 401k screen and say, gee, this is how much I'm paying for fees. But I think the one lasting point I want to make, and I've already made it once, is that by working with a fiduciary, like we are all here at America's Retirement Headquarters, fees have to be disclosed, fees have to be signed off on, and you should have a pretty good handle of what you're going to pay if you come to work with us here. So in closing, the cost of fees, they can vary. They can vary quite widely. So the last thing I would say is, if you are paying fees and you don't feel like you're getting service for those fees, then that's a reason to have a second set of eyes look at your situation, and that's a good reason for you to come and visit with us here at America's Retirement Headquarters.
You know what I would say about this is that the good news is this is becoming more transparent today. And I'd say consumers that I meet with are more open about asking these questions up front, and I think that's fantastic. So it's not uncommon for somebody to come in and ask the question about how the costs are in the portfolio. And I think it's a good idea. If you're a listener and you're not sure what your fees and expenses are, it's your money. You should ask the company that you work with, and you should be able to be transparent in that. I do oftentimes find people that get shocked about the amount of fees and expenses that they're paying on their investment accounts. And when you see those high fees and investments, it's generally involving less or not as regulated type products out there. A good example is a popular product in the marketplace today is like a non-traded REIT. With non-traded real estate investment trust, there can be different fee structures that can be very confusing and difficult for an average investor to look at, which tends to make them even more complicated. On the flip end of the scale, a very popular product that a lot of firms use, but one that has quite a bit of cost associated with it, is a variable annuity. And so when you add in variable annuities, you have mortality expense ratios, you can have rider cost, you can have sub-account fees, and if you add up all of those expenses, those fees really add up. And a lot of times people just maybe are not aware of what those fees and expenses are. And there's nothing wrong with paying for fees as long as you're getting more value in return than what the cost is. And I think that's, Dave, what you were talking about as far as looking at a good understanding as far as the total cost into portfolios, identifying those ones that, kind of add value to what you're doing. If there's things that you have in the portfolio that you don't need, then maybe you could kind of get rid of them. I had a conversation with a client. And 10 years ago, we put together an investment plan, and the thought process was in 10 years when he retired, he was going to need some income out of one of his investment accounts. Well, because all of his other investment accounts have worked out really well over the years and he's been a good saver, he really doesn't need that income anymore. And so, looking forward, his goals and objectives have changed. In fact, if we look at where rates are today compared to 10 years ago, not only could we eliminate the fee by spotting that fee, we're also able to upgrade the portfolio to take advantage of where, the high fixed rates are today. And so in your situation, maybe you picked something out years ago, but things are a little bit different today. Even if you have like an annuity that's a couple of years old, it's worth getting together with a professional and making sure that you go through that. If you're an investor and you don't understand what your fees and expenses are, we really need to talk. We can provide you a printout that shows you what your fees and expenses are so you can make a better educated decision about what's right for your situation.
Having that fee analysis done is a great way to assess value, and perhaps there is even a better value out there if what you already have has been working with you for the past couple of years. A lot of great advances in technology, the financial realm, no different. So getting that better understanding all starts with getting that fee analysis done as part of the Retirement Team Action Plan, as part of sitting down and speaking with the guys at America's Retirement Headquarters. 419-794-3030 is how you begin. That's 419-794-3030. You can always find them on the website, which is arhq.com. Want to thank you for joining us today here on America's Retirement Headquarters, the home of the Retirement Guys formula and America's Medicare Associates. Hope you have a great week ahead of you. Hope you stay safe out there. Gentlemen, always appreciate you taking the time to spend with the listeners and viewers. And as we wrap up here, want to leave you with the final word.
Just as always, when you think retirement, think America's Retirement Headquarters. It's home of the Retirement Guys formula and America's Medicare Associates.